I thought it was fine, dude. Ah! You gotta get a stand or something.
Somebody just did a tope suicida into the cameraman.
Man, what do you think of this pay-per-view? Like, good, bad, ugly?
It was okay considering, again, they haven't gotten on TV yet. The build up is just online. This show, when I was reading the background behind it, a lot of stuff with New Japan and this CEO game type company. So, trying to introduce characters to an audience, and the audience seemed, pretty, whether they knew who some of the people were and just cheering to be cheering, they seemed pretty hyped for most of the matches. And, for what they had to work with, I consider it pretty good success.
I think in that aspect, if you look at through that frame of mind, like they really did build some characters in this. They set some groundwork for the future of AEW with Darby Allin and MJF and Jungle Boy. They really got their feet in the water. You're right on trying to develop a few guys and see what they have. That is an interesting way to look at it. Like, I don't know that I enjoyed it as much as the last pay-per-view, but I think that there were definitely strong matches, and I think some of the style, even not even just the wrestlers, but some of the styles of some of these matches remind me of like the six-way matches we're getting now before a pay-per-view or something. You know what I mean? Like fast pace, no relenting from Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, just like the guys are nowadays. It was like the groundwork for the style that they use. And that's so freaking interesting, dude. Like, I didn't think watching this I was going to be able to see the blueprint of what we are watching today. I figured it would be a very, very different show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think it really was setting the pace again. It was, Double or Nothing is almost, they're just starting out, was like a WrestleMania type of thing. So this is a B-level, like a Backlash or whatever, just trying to get characters introduced because they know the TV deal's coming. So it's like we got to introduce some people, still have some good matches, but it was like to me, it was just a sort of a table setting to let you know, and there's one match that we will talk about that I do think really defined something that was going to be happening. But, for the most part, I think it was just a introduction to characters and setting a framework for what people could expect that would be going forward.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like I said, it's amazing how good it is right from the beginning. Like, I thought that there would be some things that I didn't super enjoy, and obviously some of the matches, like the beginning matches and stuff, it's like, what are we doing here? But like, there's just a lot to really love about AEW, and there always has been. That charm is always there, like the charm of what this company is compared to WWE is what really draws me in. And I mean, back then they were really trying to cultivate Janela, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's made for TV, and sometimes you have to get rid of people because they scare you and you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
So, yeah. But let's get into it. Where do you want to start? You want to start with the four-way match, or?
Yeah, let's start because really before that, the biggest match that really interests me was the three-way with the women with Riho and Yuka. Yu Hakusho. I never can say her name right. Against Nyla Rose, and it showed Nyla was a beast, but Riho still found a way to win, and again, introducing you to some of these Japanese Joshi wrestlers that a lot of people may have never even seen before. So, but yeah, I think really when you get into the four-way, that's where you get into the meat of it.
Yeah, the spot, before we leave this match, there's one spot in particular that had me, and this happens every time Riho wrestles. There's one spot where I'm just like, how in the piss do you do that? And Nyla had a pin, and a pin where her face was up enough where Riho could come off the ropes and nail her in the mouth, and she rolled backwards into putting Sakazaki on top somehow.
Mhm.
And it was just such a beautiful work of art. Like those types of things remind me why I love wrestling so much. Like what a well placed spot that was. And I kept thinking like people give Riho so much shit because she doesn't look like a wrestler, but
Right.
man, dude, she does so much shit that like just is just unbelievable. Like stuff that it doesn't even seem like human beings could do. Like
Oh yeah.
there's a handful of wrestlers in AEW now that give me that same feeling. Bandito, Beast Mortos. There's like guys that I'm like, how the hell do you do that? Like, what is that thing you just did? And it's every time I watch him, Riho has the same energy. Every
Yeah.
time I watch her, I get that vibe of like, what is this? Like, how do you even do that? Like, as a human being. So, I think it definitely showed Nyla Rose's strength, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it showed that Riho is almost like an alien. Like, that just
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. It's almost like she's levitating sometimes. Like, she's just floating in the air. It blows my mind every time. But anyway, but to the four-way.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that they let MJF come out first and give him a mic to cut a promo before they do the rest of the introductions.
Right.
And it's like they know they've got something there. And, he's already heating up the crowd and
Mm-hmm.
showing what he can do on the mic. So I just thought that it's like, okay, we know that he can do something. We don't have a TV show. So let's let them experience him on the mic and let them get a glimpse of what we know that's about to happen.
Did you see that they highlighted that one guy when he called the crowd a virgin? Did you catch that at all? Like there was just one guy in the crowd and he was like, and you're all virgins. And then they
Yeah,
flash frame to one guy and just leave it on one guy's face for like literally 4 seconds. Like they
yeah.
didn't move off this guy's face forever. That poor guy, dude. Like what did he do to deserve this? Was he a plant? Or was this a guy that it's somebody's childhood friend and he bullied him or something and they were trying to get back?
I never
Mind blowing.
know. The cameraman just may have been stereotyping and said, "Huh, you look like one, so I'm going
You,
to focus in on you."
you have definitely had sex before. You will be the only person that I filmed this entire scene. That poor guy. I just felt so bad for him. I was like, dude, that would be me. If I was in the crowd, that would be the guy. I would be the guy that he would go after. Poor guy.
But we never know. Tony Khan has a big heart. He might have bought the guy a hooker after the match.
Mid milk drink is not okay to make hooker jokes, Ted. There's rules here. You can't be doing that match. Like I honestly I think it showed the strengths of everybody that it was supposed to show the strengths of. And like I know this match was fucking fire, dude. MJF is doing MJF shit. Hangman is Hangman. What do you got, dude? Like it's pretty good.
Well, yeah, and especially, MJF already showing if people hadn't seen him on the indies, they're all three outside and he's running the ropes like he's going to do a dive. And he's like, no, I don't need to do flips.
The classic snatch and grab. That's what we call it. You give it to him and you take it away.
Yeah. So it's like showing him, and that would set up his style for the last 6 years. There's been times he's done high flying maneuvers when he had to, but he's always picked and choose and showing that I can wrestle a different style than Omega and Ospreay and all these other guys to add to that diversity to the roster.
Yeah, the beginnings are there, man. I think you're seeing the seeds get sprouted here, especially in the early going. They gave him a live mic last show too, correct? This is 2 in a row that we've gotten live mic MJF, which is so fun. You're right.
And
They knew exactly who the fuck he was well before he was who he was.
That mother of yours whose basement you live in, she swallows. So, hate to break it to you. Hate to break it to you.
And one of the things I really caught on the commentary was JR one time when Hangman and MJF were locking up. He said, these two young guys are going to be the faces of AEW in the future.
JR knows, man. He's never missed a thing. That's the talent relations right there. If he don't know, who does?
Oh, yeah.
If he don't know, who does? Yeah, I think throughout this card, there's a lot of funny little things that JR has to say, too. Like, it's almost like he's finding his character in AEW as well.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. Like, he's trying to decide whether he wants to be the guy that insults people the whole time or if he wants to be the big word guy. He's trying to figure this out the whole card. So I think at one point he's insulting people, all the heel characters, and it's great. It's great stuff from JR. I miss this. I know that we can't have bad guy JR anymore unless he's just being grumpy. But I miss this.
Yeah.
I don't ever want him to leave. I want him to do just for the rest of his life do commentary and never go away.
Yeah.
Let's just keep him on TV. Just keep propping him in there, put him in the chair, let him say what he wants, by God, whatever, and we move on, man.
Oh, yeah.
Same with Ric Flair. Let him wrestle as much as he wants to. Why do we want him to stop?
Well, and not to jump ahead, but just staying on JR a minute, even during the trios match, one thing that JR will continue to say through the rest of his career that he's had so far in AEW is do you know who the legal man is? I'm not sure. The ref needs to get this under control. You know, he's like, who's the legal man?
Realism. He's trying to make it a sport. I love that. That's your invisible cameras. That's what he's doing. He's trying to make it realistic. That's what he's doing. He's just adding some exposition into the story. That's magic though. Like that's what I would want to be if I was the commentator. Obviously, I'm not going to be Excalibur because I'm not smart enough. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I can't be Bryan Danielson because I'm not tough enough. So I'm going to have to be JR. I can't be Tony because I don't want to take it. Tony just be taking too much punishment from wrestlers.
Yeah.
He loves to take a bump nowadays. I don't know what's going on with him.
Well, yeah, this other guy they had, I really didn't know much about him. Golden Boy or Golden Retriever.
I kept calling him Wonder Boy. I know that's not his name, but I kept calling him Wonder Boy.
Yeah, I did.
I don't know who he is. Did we Google who he is at all? Is there just a mystery guy?
I didn't even bother Googling him because I knew he wasn't around that long.
Well, that's it from us for Wonder Boy. Fuck you, Wonder Boy.
Yeah.
We don't care about you at all. Yeah, he didn't do nothing for me at all, to be honest. But yeah, so what are we talking next? Cody Rhodes, and Darby Allin.
Yes.
What do you think? A Darby Allin match, a classic Darby Allin match. I mean, it's a Cody Rhodes match, but to be honest, it's a Darby Allin match. He just takes bumps all over the place and tries to kill himself.
Yeah, I mean, he comes out with the body bag, which would be a staple. And at the beginning of the match, one of those first couple of lockups I noticed within probably the first 5 minutes of the match, you know, and again, I don't know how many of these people really know who Darby Allin is, but you were getting dueling Cody, Darby chants. So it was like, also this shows that not everybody is on Cody Rhodes' side, even at the beginning of AEW, you know.
It feels like he never noticed, though. Like, I would have thought the same thing, but you're right. Like, Darby was kind of getting the edge here. And at one point, I wrote a note that I said, like, who's the heel and who's the face? Because he just went across the ring and just slapped Darby across the face unprovoked. It almost felt like he knew the whole time. Like, he's been playing all of us. Like, he knew he was halfway with his foot and healed him.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder how much we're going to watch of this and see him just being a heel the whole fucking time.
Well, like, from what I remember, he really, it was easy. He could have easily been it, you know, because it was already there. It's just, he just didn't want to fully embrace it.
Why does he not want to do that? Like, I never understood. He's good at it. Why does he not want to do that?
I don't know. I mean, that's the thing, you know. Anakin struggled, but when you finally give in and you can kill the Padawans and everybody, then just embrace it. You're trying to play both sides, you know. So just embrace it. Just embrace it, Cody. Just embrace it. Embrace the dark side.
He's not gonna. He's gonna be a face forever until everybody's tired of him. Can they just make him in WWE? Does he have creative control? They just force him to do it?
I mean, they could, but I'm sure. But as long as the merch is selling, I doubt they're going to turn him.
And it's selling. It's selling. So I saw some guy post earlier, and then we'll get back into the matches after this, how miserable of a title run this was for Cody Rhodes. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, damn, man. He defended the belt one time. All of the shit was the same stuff he already did. It was just the same promos over and over again. He never does a different promo. This really was maybe the worst run in wrestling history he just had with his belt. Like, man, he's fallen a long way. Like, I think when he got to WWE, he found his way to the top of the mountain, and then it was like, whatever. Can take a break. I don't know. Anyway, you know who hasn't ever taken a break, and that's Kenny Omega, except for his long break for surgery.
Yeah.
What do you think of that match? I mean, okay, let me put it to you like this instead. What do you think of that match in comparison to the last match we watched for theirs? Because it was Young Bucks and Lucha Brothers, and we got the same thing again. So, what is the comparison rate between these two matches? Like, is this better or worse?
I thought this one was better. I thought this one was better. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I know that the last one felt like they were figuring out what TV wrestling was, but I think that the match and the pacing was better. So this is obviously like what AEW has become on a Dynamite. You know, you're going to get your 6 ways, and it's going to be all the stars in the company, and they're going to just run the ropes and do all kinds of high-flying, crazy-ass shit. I don't know that I necessarily need Kenny here. And again, it's not that Kenny's terrible, and the cosplay thing is cool with Street Fighter. I love the Street Fighter clothing and shit. Like, it's cool. I just don't know that Kenny is necessary. Same with Laredo Kid. Like, as great as Laredo Kid is, I'd take 2 versus 3 every time.
Well, like I said, I thought it was okay. I thought that adding Kenny and Laredo Kid added a little more because, like I said, I've seen so many Bucks and Lucha Brothers matches. You know, and especially after seeing the last show, it was like, let's add something different because I didn't want to just see a rematch.
Right. And that makes sense. And we're going to get a bunch of those down the road, too, because what do they have? You said the best of 7, but what do we have on top of that? 6 or 7 other matches?
Probably.
So we're probably looking at 14 matches between these tag teams over the years because, I mean, they're the best 2 of 3 tag teams in the company. So what are you going to do? When does FTR come in?
Yeah, you got a little bit.
Okay. All right. I didn't know if it was going to be soon or not. Yeah, anyway, though, I thought this match is fine. I just don't know that I necessarily need the addition of extras, and I like a pacing of a 2. I felt like they had a little bit more room. Like, this was breakneck speed. This is punk rock. You know what I mean? Like, imagine them doing something like this in WWE. Like, it's just the speed is just never there like that. You can't choreography that speed. You know, it's just crazy. But I don't know. On to the main event. Janela gets on TV. Can we keep him or not?
Well, you know, at the beginning, Tony's, you know, they don't have a lot of free agent main eventers or, you know, even people with experience in, you know, previous companies. So I think he was just trying to get people that have a little bit of buzz about them and work on it. And then as we go forward, we're going to see how many of them make it and how many of them, you know, fall by the wayside.
I have another question before we get into the depth of this match. Do you think Jon Moxley asked to bleed?
I'm sure at this stage, Tony just told him, do whatever you want.
And he's just like, I'm going to bleed all over the place? He doesn't even have to ask to go through barbed wire tables?
Probably because, you know, it really then hit me because, you know, he made the appearance, but Jon Moxley's first ever official match in AEW is a death match.
Yeah. For sure it is. against the king of deathmatch wrestling, like one of the dudes that's done it forever, which I'm sure he knows well. That you know all about Joey Janela at this point because he's a student of the game. So I love this shit, dude. I don't always love deathmatch wrestling, but I really, really like this match. I thought they were just beating each other. This is a certified grandpa match. This is the type of match that grandpa would love. He wants him
So
to bleed.
let's do a long-term storytelling continuation. Moxley takes off Janela's shoes and puts them in the thumbtacks, right?
Yeah.
Who never wears shoes, who's part of Moxley's crew, got her feet in thumbtacks.
Marina.
Yes,
Long
I'm sure
term.
Moxley had that. I'm sure he had that in the back of his mind when they were setting up the mask and said, "Hey, Marina, I remember this spot with Joey Janela. Do you mind getting your feet in thumbtacks?"
That's such an old head way to think of things. Though you think he thought of Joey Janela before he did it? He was like, I had this
Yeah.
spot with the boot.
Yeah, I think these wrestlers do. They'll recall stuff that they've done years ago and like, hey, we could do this. Especially nowadays where they talk about the matches, because back in the old day, nobody, they just called it in the ring. But I think nowadays they probably do call back on some stuff that, hey, we could do this and we could do that.
The funniest thing about this movie is that is truly how John Moxley's mind works. Like I read his book, and he's always trying to put like stuff that he loves music wise, or stuff that he loves movie wise, or old match wise. Like that's such a John Moxley thing to do that you just created in your head, where he's like,
Yep.
I remember he didn't put his foot in those tacks. How'd you like to do it?
Yep.
Janela's a nutcase, though, dude. I'm sure that any TV company would be like, "Can we insure this?" Every time they see him wrestle.
So does Janela have some kind of foot fetish thing with his own feet? Because didn't he light his foot on fire or something a while back?
I'm sure he regrets that because I don't think it went out as fast as he wanted to either. I'm sure he regrets that one.
So what is it with Janela and his feet?
Maybe that's why they stopped inviting him back because he kept talking about feet all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, here comes the foot guy again.
So somebody start a Reddit subreddit thread about Joey Janela and his love of feet.
It's gonna be the next Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Well, he definitely smelled defeat in this match.
Yeah.